Good morning, Gambia, wherever you are getting us live. This is your educational program that always come in a way every Monday from this hour. And then I am your host, Mr. Sanyang, and then my co-host is Mr. Babukar E. Ebuso, who is not in the building with us physically, but spiritually he's with us. Still acknowledge the presence of those people at the receiving end, the audience, especially schools like Mahat, schools like Botrop, St. Peter's, Nusrat Senior Secondary School, down to Gambia High, Muslim, all schools in Region 1, Mighty West Coast Region, and then Region 3, Region 4, Region 5, Region 6, and 7. I'm saying welcome to this education program that always comes your way every Monday from this time. I repeat, I am your host, Mr. Sanyang, a teacher, a presenter. And then today I host youths for change, youths that are advocating or youths that are fighting against drug abuse in the Gambia. And then without wasting more time, I will further ask them to introduce themselves for the benefit of those who may ask, who are they? Welcome to the Education Bantaba platform at Atlantic Online TV.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Sanyang. My name is Amadou Jobe, a teacher by profession, and also a student of the University of the Gambia, alongside the coordinator of FADAC, that is fighting against drug abuse in the Gambia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amadou Jobe. He's also a teacher, as I stated earlier. This is an education program, not non-politics, no religion, but it's only education, to work on some of the pedagogies that are affecting our education system. Thank you so very much for honoring our invitation. Then we also have a female who is with us. Please take us through your name.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hadijatou Dampha, a member of Shower Gambia, and fighting against drug abuse in the Gambia. In behalf of my colleagues and I, we are here today to educate people about drug abuse in the Gambia.
Yes, thank you, Madam Dampha and Mr. Jobe. Honestly, we are indeed grateful having you people in our today's balloting. And then, as I rightly said, today our focus will center on drug abuse in the Gambia. Honestly, this is the only country we have, and then most of our youth today, honestly, are being carried or being polluted by this drug abuse. And then we are receiving a lot of dropout in school every year. It's all due to this drug abuse. But I believe these young people are here to make sure that at least to change the narrative. So please take us to your organization.
All right, thank you very much. Fighting against drug abuse in the Gambia with the acronym FADAC was founded through the Shao Gambia Mentorship Academy. Shao Gambia usually have online session whereby we enlighten youth about digital safety and life skills. So fighting against drug abuse emanated from that, and then we are basically focused on sensitizing or advocating for the misuse and the abuse of drug in the Gambia, particularly among school-going children. We have already activities that we concluded. We visited Daddy Jobe Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, in which we've sensitized the student leaders, over 50 students in the school. At the end of the day also, we went to Future Generation Junior and Senior Secondary School, whereby we also have a session with them, enlightening the youth about the dangers of drug abuse, particularly among school-going children. So basically, we are on the process of intensifying our sensitization, so that youths will know the effects of drug abuse, and then do some of these drugs that they take that is very harmful to their health. So basically, in short, this is about fighting against drug abuse in the Gambia. Thank you.
Yes. Do you also have the same thing, or will you love to at least adjust?
Yes, that is what we have. We really want to talk to students because these days students are really abusing drugs and it's not good for their social well-being. When it comes to education, when it comes to their health, the way they are misusing drugs, it's very bad. And we do have type of drugs. We have illicit drugs and illicit drugs. And then students are using illicit drugs. And it's really bad for their education because when they use those drugs, they can become aggressive. Their school performance go down because some of the times they don't attend school. So it's very concerning, and this Gambia is our Gambia. We really need to have to come together and then do something about it.
Honestly, drugs is alarming in this country. In fact, I would say in all areas within the four corners of the country, youths are addicting themselves to drugs. And then we are receiving a lot of dropouts in school.
Yeah.
It's all due to the cause of drug. So your organization, is it that you are only fighting for drugs abuses, or you also have different things to?
Yes,
Yeah.
for our organization, FADAC, basically we focus on fighting against drug abuse in the Gambia. And our main focus is on advocacy, right? Sensitizing the youths, talking to them about the dangers that are associated with this substance abuse. So basically, this is what we do within our organization. Because we feel that if people are enlightened, people are sensitized about the dangers of drug abuse, then we feel that it will go down. Though to eradicate it totally might be difficult or might be impossible, but at least, with the little sensitization that we are doing to the public, we believe that the narrative will change. That is basically what we are focused on, sensitizing or advocating for, the misuse and the abuse of these illicit drugs in the Gambia.
Yes, down to you, Fatmata.
Hadijatou.
Sorry, Dampha. So, in your own definition, what drug is all about? Drug abuse. Because I said people always talk about this drug abuses, drug abuses, drug abuses. In your way of definition or definiting it, so if I may ask you, what is drug abuse?
Drugs abuse is a substance which, if it is misused, it may cause problem to your social well-being. Yes.
So that's what drug abuse is all about. And then others will say it, in fact, drug abuse is the use of illegal drugs or the use of prescription or over-the-counter drugs for purpose of other than those for which they are meant to be used or in excessive amount.
Right.
So drug abuse may lead to social, physical, emotional, and job-related problems. And then this is what is affecting. Now let's move directly to schools. In our schools, in fact, recently we do receive updates that a student, staff, a student in the school, or a student have a problem with a teacher, and then stab the teacher. If we move into our communities, we are receiving all different information that people are stabbing one another, people are killing one another. I would say all this is caused due to drug abuse. So what is your take on that?
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Sanya. I believe drug abuse is definitely affecting our education system. The reason being, we have so many students who are abusing these drugs. And if you abuse these drugs, number one, it will change your behavior, it will change your mood, it will change even how you compose yourself. Sometimes they will take these drugs before coming to the school. Mostly in the morning, they will take these drugs before coming to the school. So obviously, if you come to the school, even sometimes you see them having some small misunderstanding or altercations with their teachers. You understand? So at the end of the day, sometimes, they among themselves, you see students, abusing each other, bullying each other because of this drug abuse. And sometimes when they take these drugs, they will come to the school campus, and then how they behave, you know that this guy is not okay, or this guy is not normal. Sometimes you see them going to the back of the school, take these drugs. Sometimes during break time, or whatsoever time that they have, they will use them, and then they come back to the class. So coming back to the class, you see them, you get the scent, and then it affects so many impacts in their life. One, they will not concentrate in class. Number two, they will not focus on their education. And number three, also, it brings about so much conflict among themselves. You understand? They might kill each other, because if you use these drugs, it affects your mental well-being, it affects your mindset. So at the end of the day, you realize that it affects the students, it affects the staffs, and also it affects the administration as well. So all these things have to be looked at, and the students have to know this type of drugs. What are their negative effects? What is the impacts that it has on us? At the end of the day, also, how will it affect your education? So most of them are dropouts. You never be a dropout, because you will be using these drugs, and then it will affect you. You understand? Some of them will go to the beach side, dodge from school, go to the beach side, and then use these drugs. You will not attend school. You will not read your books. You will not concentrate in class. So it has a lot of effects.
Yes, Mr. Sanyang, down to Madam Dampha. Dampha, honestly, in the Gambia, we normally associate drug abuse with only, I would say, male.
Right.
And then I would say it's a concern, if young girls are even going through it. So, yeah, what is your assessment on that?
Honestly, in the Gambia, we really focus on like boys are the only people that take drugs. But honestly, girls are really taking drugs nowadays. They're influenced by men, yes, but they take drugs. Some people are even addicted more than men. Some females are more addicted more than men. They do take drugs non-stop. You understand? And when it comes to what Ahmed said, I'll add to that. When it comes to schools, when you are taking drugs, you are not affecting only yourself, you are affecting people around you. Because you taking drug today, you are joking with somebody just jokingly with you, and the person is not taking drug. Your aggression, you will transfer it to that person, and you can hurt that person. Because most of the cases that you see in the Gambia here right now, it's not like both of them take drug. It's the other person that you fight with, and then the person will tell you, let me go to the house and come back. He's going to take some drug to give him some nerves to do other things. You understand? Because drug give you, like, it tampers with your temper. You get mad over small things. So when you take drugs, you tell the person, and then I'll come back. And when you go to the house, you come back, you can do something very stupid. It's not you, it's the drug. You understand? When it comes to female, when it comes to male, we are all equal in this.
Yeah, so how can we prevent drug abuse in the country?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sanyang, for that question. I believe one of the ways in which we can stop or prevent drug abuse in the Gambia is, number one, by suppressing the supply of drugs into the country. I'll reference the training that we have with DILIC, that's the institution that is responsible to fight against drug abuse in the Gambia. According to the trainer, one of the ways in which we can really stop or minimize drug abuse in the Gambia is by suppressing the supply. If the supply is being suppressed, then we believe that drug abuse will be totally eradicated in the Gambia. And even if not totally eradicated in the Gambia, it will serve as a reference to avoid youths from getting addicted to these drugs. Because it depends on the availability. It depends on the availability, because if the drugs are available, obviously they will use it. But if the drug is not available, then they will not use it. And looking at the availability, that even put these youths into this burglary. You have seen recently that they will be attacking people on the street, even in your own house. They can even come there, just to make sure that they have something that they can use in order to go and get these drugs. But they'll do whatever possible means in order to get it. So if there's no supply, then obviously this issue of drug abuse will be stopped totally in the Gambia.
Yeah.
On top of that,
yeah.
we talk about the issue of the advocacy, the sensitization, like what we are doing, like Farag is doing. We are basically working on sensitizing the youths, particularly school-going children, about the dangers of this drug abuse, because these drugs are very harmful to our system, very harmful to our body. If we stop the use of these drugs, then obviously we'll see progress in our lives, in our professional life, and also in our personal development as well.
Yeah, Madam Dampha, in your own take, how can we prevent drug? Because we already made mention of all the key areas which maybe the government can even take a look at to make sure that at least to eradicate drug abuse in the Gambia, meaning by suppressing maybe the suppliers and so on and so forth. So, what is your take?
Yeah, that is very important what he said about the supplies. This is the reason why we need help. This is the reason why we came out to talk about it, so that we can, like, ears can hear us. We want people to hear us more. We want this to go out. So if we need help, if we have help, we'll have a better Gambia. Yes.
Yeah, so how can we suppress the suppliers? If we made mention of how can we suppress them?
Good.
Because taking a look into our borders, I would say Gambia, recently we have the poorest borders so far within the sub-region.
Absolutely.
And then people come in, no good, no bad. Criminals come in, no good, no bad. We are hearing armed robberies. And then they are all native of they are not from here. I would say they are from outside to the country. So how are we going to suppress those suppliers?
All right. If you look at these drugs that are being abused, mostly, they are not manufactured in the Gambia. They are not made in the Gambia. But they are brought in. The likes of the cocaine, you talk about the ecstasy, you talk about this vape, and that is a new drug that is being used by our youth, vape. You understand? Amongst other drugs that we use.
And then we forget about Koost.
Very good.
Koost was
Yes, it was something else.
It was something else.
In the Gambia.
Maybe I would say in last year and maybe past months.
Yes.
And then it was a problem in Africa, more especially in West Africa. Yes.
Right.
And then it's alleged that this coups originated from Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
You understand? And then all these things, if we strengthen our border, one of the key areas that we have to look at is to strengthen our border management system, so that every individual who is coming into the country, they know your reason of coming into the country and what are the things that you brought. Most of the time, these drugs are put in a place whereby it's not easily accessible. We have some who even swallow these drugs, and then when they reach to their destination, they defecate it. We have seen all those cases. So, if our Gambia Immigration Department and also in collaboration with the police force and also the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, they have to work together to make sure that they control our airports and also our borders. If these places are being controlled, they put stringent measures to make sure that they reduce the supply. And also, those who are caught with these drugs, disciplinary measures have to be put in place. You understand? Most of these people, you realize that they will bring in these drugs, they will be caught, and at the end of the day, they go scot-free. Or sometimes they are charged with small amount of money that they can easily pay. But these drugs are very expensive. Very expensive. Right now, the most common one, that is the ganja. You understand? We call it Thai. Right? Even right now, I recently asked, and I was told that the pack now is 150.
And Mr. Jobe, this is a report what's on Gambia made, I would say a couple of 2 days, that a police officer caught a boy with this marijuana ganja, and then after, but instead of at least apprehending the boy, he asked the boy to pay.
Want to resell it again.
Resell it again. So how sad is the nation?
Well, the individuals who are given power, our officials who should be there in order to safeguard our country, make sure to protect these criminals from endangering the entire population. It's very sad that these are the same individuals who are also engaged into it. Because there was a training that we had, and then the guy was like, even the officers who are responsible are even smoking it. So obviously, them also, they are involved. You understand? So that is why, for us, we are intensifying our sensitization, advocating for it to make sure that we enlighten people about the dangers of these things. You understand? Because the police, the immigration, the army, and the delayed officials, you understand, the Ministry of Justice, right, Interior, they are all involved. So if they work together, then obviously we believe that this issue of drug abuse, will be eradicated in the Gambia.
Yes, how can we prevent drug abuse in our school? As this is an educational platform. Yes.
Right. When it comes to what Ahmed said, when we went to the Jobe the other day, there is a student that asked me a question when I presented already. He said, we know that these people that are supposed to protect us are using this drug. They do know. Because they are here, they are listening, they are hearing everything. They know that they are using the drugs. And then they'll be like, if they are the people that are supposed to protect us using it and then reselling it, what do you expect us to do? Then you will know that it's really sad. It's very, very sad. So we really need help from them as our leaders. We like right now, when you even have a problem, you'll be scared to go to the police station because they are the people that are supposed to protect us. But it's like these are the people that are against us, honestly. They'll tell you that, yeah, if they are smoking, is how can they prevent us from smoking? Because you'll be walking on the road and you see a police officer smoking. Honestly, you see them smoking on the road. If it is something that you are doing, you can even hide somewhere and do it. But how can you be doing it on the road and the next minute you hold someone and telling them that do not use drugs? It doesn't make sense.
People don't.
They won't listen.
Yeah.
We are youth, we are stubborn.
Okay. Dampha, as a teacher, and then we have to be specific. And then how can you control drug in the school?
All right. I believe the control of drugs in schools. Firstly, I'll start from the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education.
Okay.
Because they are the customary body who are there to monitor and put in measures that will be used by the school administration, particularly the senior management committee, to combat drug abuse in schools. And the teachers have to play a very, very, very big role to make sure that they talk to their students, and if anybody is being caught using these drugs, the guys will be punished.
Now, whereby a school, whereby the head teacher or the administration even is a smoker, and then some of the teachers are also smokers.
Yes.
How do you think that drug abuse can be controlled in that school?
Right. Thank you very much. In some cases, yes, it's happening. I know.
Yes.
And then I know it's happening.
Exactly.
And then I will not mention it's happening in some of the schools that where the head teacher or the principal in fact do smoke, and then some of the teachers they also do smoke, and then they are the people who normally mingle with certain students who normally smoke.
Exactly.
So how can drug be abused, be overtaken or controlled in our education system?
All right.
It's a problem, honestly.
Yes, it's a problem, and it is a very, very difficult task. If you, the individual who should be telling these kids to stop using this drug, you yourself, you are using it. Obviously, even if you want to talk to the students, they will not even listen to you, right? We have seen, we see, head teachers, principals, teachers, staffs of an institution, an educational institution, using these drugs. So obviously, it will be very difficult. But then the sensitization have to be on, so that the school management will control those staffs or teachers who are using these drugs. Even if you are to use, you as a responsible teacher, you should not even smoke inside the school.
I think it's part of the teachers' code of conduct.
Exactly.
That no smoking in the school.
In the school campus.
And then no smoking in public institutions. But are people observing those rules?
That is basically the responsibility of the senior management committee of that particular institution.
The problem is there is no assessment.
Right.
That is the problem.
There is no assessment in our schools. There is no assessment in our institutions. You only give them the rules, and then whether they are following those rules or not,
You don't know.
you in person, you don't care, because you never go and assess. So this is the problem that is affecting our education system, and this is the problem that is causing dropout in our schools.
Yeah.
Because teachers are never assessed, our school heads are never assessed. Hardly you see a minister or those in the government position, I would say high position holders, even seeing them rotating, going around to the school to check some of the pedagogies that are affecting our education system. So it's honestly, you people have a mountain to climb. Then we move into the next question. What is drug abuse? You already made the definition of that. So what affects the drug abuse?
The effect of drug abuse is much. We have to your performance when it comes to students, school performance. It comes to your total behavior, because your behavior changes totally. You become aggressive, you become rude, you become short-tempered, so it tampers with your temper a lot. Yeah, so those are the things that drug can do. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Jobe?
All right. The effects of drug abuse. Number one, it affects your mental state, your mental well-being.
Yes.
It affects it. And then if it affects your mental well-being, it affects everything about your behavior, about your mood, about your composure, your posture. It affects everything, your concentration in whatever you're doing. It affects it. So now looking at these effects, in as much as your mental strength or your mental capacity is affected, then everything is affected about you as an individual. So looking at that, it helps us to know what are the things that we are going to put in place to make sure that we minimize the abuse of drugs in the Gambia. Because looking at it, most of them use it because of the peer influence, because my friends are smoking, I also have to smoke. And now there is this thought that come like if you don't smoke, you understand, you are aware and stuff like that. And sometimes it depends on dependence on the drug. We have some individuals, if they don't use a particular drug, they don't function.
Honestly. Now we can move into the type of drugs. Yeah, how many type of drugs do we have? And then sometimes we should say we have, I would say, 3 type of drugs. You have the stimulant drugs. You also have we call it I forget some. Yeah, what I would say. So to your own understanding, how many type of drugs do we have?
All right. Drugs are classified into 2.
Good. Okay.
We have licit, those are legal drugs, and illicit, those are illegal drugs. That's the classification. Now, the licit drugs are drugs that are allowed or that are accepted by the law, that are used in hospitals, like prescription drugs, understand, over the counter and stuff like that. The ones that we use whenever you are sick, you have an illness, you go to the hospital, and then you are given a particular drug in order for you to use. Now, these illegal drugs or the illicit drugs are the drugs that are not allowed by the law. The law typically states that these drugs are prohibited. The likes of ganja, we have the marijuana, is the ganja, we have the likes of cocaine, coos, ecstasy, amongst other drugs that are used in the Gambia. And I love recently what the Gambia Police Force is doing in order to prevent public smoking. We have seen months ago that they are going around, you understand, they even seize some Caesar, the material that they use, you understand, the Caesar, they seize it, just to make sure that they prevent the, smoking in public.
And then there is a law.
Yes.
There is a law. No one should smoke in public. And then I would say during last regime, the law was enforced to an extent that you hardly see someone even smoking a cigarette in public place. But now, rampant smoking everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a problem. So what is your take on that?
It's a problem because when it comes to smoking, when it comes to licit and illicit drug, cigarette is a licit drug in the Gambia. So, and those that make cigarette stated it very clear that smoking kills. And it's written there. So I'm concerned because when I go to school, they do ask me this question. I tell them that this is the same question that I'm asking myself. And this is the same question I want to ask. Why are they allowing cigarettes in the Gambia when they clearly know that it's harmful, like very harmful? Cigarettes are very, very harmful. So why are they accepting those drugs in the Gambia? I also want to ask those questions because
the tax. I know it's my opinion. Maybe the tax or maybe the revenue they do.
That is, I feel like that is not what they should look at. They should look at our well-being. Because cigarettes today, if someone is smoking it beside me right now, I'm not smoking. inhaling the same thing he's inhaling while I'm not smoking it.
Smoker, yeah.
Exactly. So it's very concerning, and this question I'll keep on asking it till I have the answer to it.
Honestly.
Yes.
Yeah, so we still move, and then we have, I would say, less than 5 minutes to wrap up, and then we can move quickly. So, what is your organization stand to make sure that we eradicate drug abuse in the country?
All right. Basically, fighting against drug abuse in the Gambia is an organization that is formed by young, vibrant youths. And then the most interesting part is all of us are students. I'm the only one who is working, and at the same time also I'm a student, right? So that are geared towards fighting against drug abuse in the Gambia, and basically we focus on advocacy. We advocate for the misuse and abuse of these illicit drugs that youths mainly or mostly use in our community, particularly targeting school-going children. Because if we protect our students, our school-going children, we believe that our future will be, at a very, very big advantage.
Yes.
So, in short, finally, we talk about the implementation, because you formulate a policy, you put a bill or a law in place, it's not a problem. But now the implementation. So our government have to really put measures together to make sure that they implement these policies or these laws that are in place in order to prevent the usage of these illicit drugs in the Gambia.
Yes, Madam Dampha, currently your focus is at Region 1. So
Yes.
are you, or do you have this thing in mind to expand up to Region 6?
Of course we do. And we really need a lot. We are planning to do a lot, but right now we all are students, and then even when we are going everywhere, we take our own money to go there, and we are very proud of ourselves. And we want a rehabilitation center, because in the Gambia here we don't have a rehabilitation center. Even when you smoke and then you have a little disorder, they take you to Tanka Tanka, and honestly Tanka Tanka is not a rehabilitation center. We are working on advocacy, and we don't mind for a whole year we change 2 to 3 people. It's a lot for the Gambia. Honestly, we don't mind. Even if it takes us 1 year to change 2 people, we don't mind. We just want to see changes. We honestly want to see changes towards the Gambia, because this Gambia is our Gambia. When it gets spoiled, it's us, because we are in it. We are not going anywhere. Even if you travel out of the country, the Gambia is still your Gambia, because when somebody says something about Gambia, you get mad. So this Gambia is our Gambia. We need help. We need people to hear us, and then we come together and do this, because it's gonna help us a lot.
Mr. Jobe, what do you think is going to be your final word, advice to the students or those at the receiving end?
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Sanyang. And then thanks to all the viewers who are currently watching us at Atlantic TV Gambia. Just the little advice that I'll have for myself and also the youths of the Gambia is we try to minimize, because every change is a gradual process, right? To stop the misuse and the abuse of these drugs for our own personal benefit. Because everything that we are doing, the repercussion, it starts from you. The moment you stop it, that money that you use in order to buy these drugs can be put into something else that will benefit you, and also benefit those around you as well. So finally, fighting against drug abuse in the Gambia is a new organization, and then we are ready to receive anybody or any institution or organization or philanthropist who wants to support our cause. All the activities that we do is for our own cause. That is why I always say that I'm very proud of them. As students, having this mindset of serving the population or serving the community is one of the things that so many people cannot do, right? So basically, if anybody wants to reach out to us, can follow our Facebook page and also our Instagram page, Fighting Against Drug Abuse in the Gambia. If you go there, you will see most of our posts, that the activities that we already have, and also you can be able to reach out to us so that we can have potential partnership. Thank you.
Yeah, Dampha, your final words.
What I have to say is to my females, one day we want to be leaders, we want to be models, and we are sisters. You wouldn't want to see yourself somewhere else in the next 3 to 5 years. So let's come together as brothers and sisters, and we can do this together. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Dampha and Mr. Joe, for honoring our invitation. I'll not do justice if I don't acknowledge those at the receiving end, our followers, I mean. And then I'll also acknowledge the regional director, Paul Mendy, and then the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, and then to all the educators and then NGOs who are actively supporting the education, and then whosoever is participating meaningfully to make sure that the education of this country is moved to the next step. Thank you so very much, and then remember, this is your educational program that always comes your way every Monday from this time at Atlantic TV, the home of the TV revolution. Thank you so very much for honoring our invitation. I don't think this will be the last. We'll keep on engaging you people till we meet what we deserve to have. Thank you so very much once again. Back to you, Eddie.